suggested evidence to support the portfolio pathway applicants, and this is from Royal College, that for various CIPs. So sometimes you will have more than one area, and most of the time you will have evidence which will be relevant to more than one area of the curriculum. So what you have to do is that you have to cross, you know, reference that. And logbook, like they have given very good example that your CV and then your logbooks, those are very important. And then because the assessor won't have time to go through one by one, and so summary sheets, I would say, summary sheets and your graphs, that what you have done actually, that would be the very like helpful in assessment. So cross-reference those. And so once you are uploading the various evidence in your drive, Google Drive or OneDrive or whatever, then you can at the time make a summary letter or cover letter for each CIP or for each folder, and then cross reference there and then, because once you are uploading, it will be then very easy. And day before yesterday, one of my colleagues were saying that she had 1 week off, and I repeated again and again that I also took annual leave for just for submission, and I had all the evidence. And so I hope that you people don't have to take that much leave or waste that from the start if you are, going through, because suffered a bit myself. So I want that please make your life easy and start from cross-referencing, start from making summary sheets, start from making cover letters from the beginning rather than towards the end. Okay, and then GMC strongly says that don't include multiple copies. So of course, 800 to 1000 is the page limit, and 150 uploads. It's not a limit, but they suggest that maximum up to 150 upload. And high quality again is more important than large volume. So that's what I say, that your CV or your cover letters or your summary sheets should show high quality. And that goes back to the logbooks also. So it's not like that you have done maybe 10,000 cases, but I'm just joking now that if all are appendix and gallbladders, then it's not. But even if you have done 500 with good resections, specimens, and good renal, maybe renal, liver, and those things, and multiple for independent reporting, then it would be of high weightage. And evidence of an applicant's personal involvement in decision making and leadership. So it's not that for interview also I told, I just give suggestion that it's not that what's your leadership experience and you've got a title. No, after getting the title, because titles are already there, you know. So what did you do? What extra mile you went, and what extra mile, what extra personal input you gave? That's important. So over here also, in your portfolio pathway application, that if you were lead of a certain uh, subspecialty or an area, what was your input? Yeah, Divya, you can skip. You can skip entering the repetitive cases, but I would suggest for the main logbook, because sometimes, because they even ask me that I submitted the logbook for 5 years, I think, and one year from UK and the rest from Saudi Arabia, and then they asked me to reduce that just 2 years from Saudi is enough because there was a lot of repetition. So instead of skipping, you can squeeze it. So if repetition every year there is repetition, then you can remove few of the months. However, I can say again and again and again that because it's triaging and it's they do that from they cross reference from one site to other site and one logbook to your letter or something. So if there is an important case where you have submitted your maybe workplace based assessment or maybe some email communicating that. So don't skip that. And otherwise, it would appear as if that is forged evidence. So again, with the personal contribution, it would be awesome that it's not again mandatory, but it would be awesome that once you have taken up a lead for a certain thing, that, like, for example, I will just give you an example, that if I'm derm lead at my current trust, so what did I do? If I'm just having the, I'm continuing what the previous derm lead was doing, then yes, it's okay. But what my personal contribution is. So I very proudly say that I have changed the practice for grossing, and I have like contributed to that, and contributed to the our fellow trust reporting guidelines, so they can report for us and we can report for them. And then with the derm team, I started that now melanomas, we are not printing out the double reporting sign performers on papers. So we are fully digital for that, and we are paperless double reporting the melanomas. So previously we were, doing that in on the paper form and then giving to the other consultant, and then they were signing it for us. So now it's all on digital. We send an email, they do it over there, and then the documentation and those things is there. So these are very tiny things, but those show your maybe leadership skill, maybe your. So I otherwise also, not only for portfolio pathway, because I always get very passionate about, our we are very lucky to work in healthcare, because we are there for people when they are at their weakest point. So don't do it only for the sake of portfolio pathway or for the sake of a certificate or for the sake of, please, whatever you can do to, uh, even if you can just better a person's life by 1%, that would be good. Okay, so next is then it's not necessary to provide evidence in support of every potentially linkable CIP. And then you see, again, they are saying that it's not necessary. So, but few things should be very strong, and independent reporting, your CV, your general histopathology and cytopathology experience. And don't skip that. And then the second block says that please note that where evidence is mandatory, so must would be written, and where it's discretionary, should be written. So very tiny, very minor thing, but once you are submitting your application, so must submit or should submit. There is a difference between those two words. So keep an eye that where there is flexibility, should word would be used, that should provide a sufficient range of material and should provide this. But some things are must. And then logbook, formal logbook, when a formal logbook is not available, again, you can submit that record of clinical consultation, but usually we can make even retrospectively if we don't have. I had to do that. Also, patient-related letters, patient lists, because we don't have patient lists, so we can just put some, MDT letters or some communication letters with the clinicians, and workload data, workload for your department, and approximately how many consultants were working. So these things no one will give you. You can make it yourself. For workload data also, I always say that you can just easily say that, okay, there were 5 locum consultants or 1 substantive, and this was the workload, and the workload was equally distributed. Or this much percentage I was doing. So, and then of course the verifier will verify that. And then rotas, how you are involved and how much you are involved, and then job plans and timetables. So in previous place of works, if you don't have job plan, please make one, consult your senior people over there and do it. and if a proper job plan is not available, then timetables. So these things are very important. But then you can always ask your HR, or you can always ask your senior person over there that how to do and how to get it verified. So it's not only logbook over here. What you have to again submit that portfolio experience. So what's a portfolio? That from all angles, and shared by an institute. Sorry, I have to see the chat. And so there's a question from one place outside UK. I have logbook shared by institute, which has other parameters but not the results. So if you can include those in that. No, I think the results or diagnosis, it's better if you can include those by yourself. So again, if it is like repetition, then you can skip those things. However, uh, because again, for us, logbook is one of the most important thing, and it can be accepted, but then you can. So I won't say that if you are putting it, you did so many so and so hysterectomies, but it won't show the breadth and depth of the curriculum. So kindly, if you can put up the diagnosis, because again, I say again and again that logbook, summary sheets, and CVs, these are the most important things that will show your whatever your structured report says that she has done, or they have done this and this. uh, you yourself can give it. So diagnosis is important in my point of view. So if you can say that, or you can say that maybe 10% were leiomyomas, or 2% were adenocarcinomas. But then you have to show those things somewhere. Because if you say general, I have done 10,000 appendices, but if you say, oh, okay, I have done neuroendocrine tumors and I have done mucinous tumors of appendix, it is awesome. And then indicative number, and so you should ensure that demonstrate that you have achieved the high level outcomes. Independent reporting is very important. People are asking about that. So whatever you can submit. So total number of supervised and independent reports undertaken. And then surgical pathology, cervical cytopathology, non-cervical, and RCPath independent reporting guideline document. It is also there. And yeah, so next time I will go in a bit more detail for the Excel sheets and summary sheets for the next session. Again, recent and whatever your recent clinical practice, but you can go back. That's why they have put up 10 years time. So 5,000 cases of histo and 30 independent reports at least, but I would say that if you can include more, that would be great. And autopsy evidence capabilities, that autopsy reports or case summaries or appropriate. So wherever you feel that there is a bit of lack, you can always put case summaries, and you can always put additional, the reflective notes. I say those are very important, or CBDs, case-based discussions.